This is pretty unbelievable. Check this out. There are multiple coins in this. Let's recheck the hole here. Oh my gosh, guys, look at that. We have another one in there, at least one more. Man, am I ever glad I rechecked that hole. Over here, just to the right side, we didn't even have to dig a new plug. Take a look at that coin right there. Hello everybody and welcome to episode 1 of the Ultimate Coin Hunt. The Ultimate Coin Hunt, of course, is a series where I will be using this metal detector and that shovel right there in an attempt to find all United States coins dating all the way back to 1920. As you can see right here, we have all of our coin collections with pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins, all going all the way back to 1920, some of them even further. So since this is episode 1, that means we've done 0 hunting so far, which means all of these collections are going to be completely empty, and we have a blank slate to find as many coins as we can to try and fill them up. So for this first episode, I picked 3 collections that I mainly like to focus on. We have Lincoln cents from 41 to 74, Roosevelt dimes from 65 to 99, and Washington quarters from 88 to 98. Now for the location of today's hunt, I picked a nearby middle school, which I know has had a lot of traffic in the past, especially with kids. Kids have coins and they drop those coins. So I'm going to be checking out the sidewalks around this school. Hopefully we can find some modern change and maybe even some older stuff like some wheat pennies, maybe even a silver dime. For today's hunt, I'm going to be using the Garrett Ace 400 metal detector. And just to get our bearings on what each coin sounds like, I brought every single type of coin that we could possibly find. Right here we have our dollar coins. Here's a much bigger dollar coin. It's going to sound a little bit different. Half dollar, quarter, nickel, dime, wheat penny, which is a copper penny, and then a zinc penny as well. So before we start our hunt, why don't we go ahead and take each one of these coins, drop them on the ground, and do a little field test and see what they sound like on the Ace 400. All right, so let's start off with the zinc penny. Let's see what that's gonna sound like. So here we go, this is our screen, and let's see what a zinc penny sounds like. All right, so solid 78. Next up, we have our wheat penny, which is a copper penny, a little bit different metal composition. Let's take a look at that. All right, so solid 84 on that one. Next up, we have our Jefferson nickel, and this is gonna surprise a lot of people. Nickels have very different composition from most other coins. Let's take a look. All right, so we're getting about a 46, 47 on the nickel, a little bit higher at times as well. Next up, we have our Roosevelt dime, which is gonna sound a lot like the copper penny. Let's take a look. So as you can see, it's actually exactly like that copper penny at a solid 84. So those are gonna sound really similar. Next up, we have a clad Washington quarter, which is a little bit bigger than that dime, so that's gonna sound a little bit different. Let's take a look. So as you can see for the Washington quarter, we're hitting about an 88, 89. Next up, we have our small dollar coins. This one's a Susan B. Anthony, and this one over here is a presidential dollar. They should sound about the same. So here's the Susan B. Anthony dollar. Coming in at about a solid 88, 89, pretty similar to the quarter. And then over here, once again, 88, 89 on that one, maybe up to a 90 as well. Moving up the chain, here we have a Kennedy half dollar. Let's see what that's gonna sound like. Okay, so coming up to about a 94, 95, 96 on that one. And then last but not least, we have our Eisenhower dollar coins, which is the biggest coin that the United States has ever minted. Let's see what that's gonna sound like. All right, so that's coming in at about a 99, which is the highest number that the Ace 400 can make. All right, so now that we have our bearings and we know what each different type of coin is gonna sound like on this machine, I say we go ahead and get right into the hunt and see what we're gonna get for our first coin. All right, guys, looks like we just stumbled upon our first coin. I was a little bit iffy about the signal on first glance, so I didn't film it, but it looks like it is gonna turn out to be a zinc penny, and that's pretty fitting for the first coin if you think about it, but let's take a look at what the signal is now, so we'll see what it is. Okay, so I gotta turn the sensitivity up a little bit. Yeah, as you can see, a lot of times these, like I said earlier, the zinc penny comes in at about a 78, but when there's lots of other things in the ground, it can make it a little difficult to discern these coins. And one thing that I am a little bit worried about with these zinc pennies is the zinc rot on them. So basically what that is that zinc pennies, which were made from 1982 and later, have a composition of almost entirely zinc, which means that they don't really fare well in the ground. So I'm gonna have to find some very recent drops of these zinc pennies if I want to have a chance of getting the date off of them. As you can see, this one looks like it's pretty toasted. We may not even be able to get a date off of that coin. And if we can't get the date off the coin, then it can't go into a collection, unfortunately. But I will try everything I can to get a date off of that one. I'll put it in the pocket for now and come back to it a little bit later. With that being said, let's go ahead and continue the hunt. All right, guys, I have a possible nickel signal here. The problem with nickel signals is that they sound like a lot of other just regular pieces of trash. And this one's really shallow, so I'm gonna go for it, and I'll show you the signal now. Check this out. So you can see it's coming in about 50, 51. If you remember earlier, the nickel that we tested on the sidewalk was coming in at about a 47, 48. And a lot of times these coins will be a little bit higher when they're in the ground. So I think that this definitely has the possibility of being a nickel. And as you can see right here, it shows that the depth is about 2 to 4 inches. Sometimes I'm getting it to come up as 2. Yep, over here. So we have a stronger signal there. I'm gonna go ahead and cut a plug and see if we can find the coin or whatever it is, and hopefully it's a nickel. All right, so it turns out for this particular find, we're not even gonna have to dig for it. It looks like it's right on the surface. I have the pinpointer here. This vibrates when it gets close to the metal, so check this out. You can hear it. You can hear it vibrating right there. I might need to dig just a little cut to see if we can pull that out of the ground, because I don't see it immediately on top of the grass here. But you can see that it's definitely just right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut a little bit into this grass, just a tiny, tiny bit, and see if we can get that object out. Okay, so as I suspected, this one's just gonna be tin foil. Not a nickel, but it certainly did sound like one. Either way, it's good to clean up the environment, so we'll get that out of here and get on to the next target. All right, guys, just a few steps later, and I think we may be onto a copper penny or a zinc dime here. Let's take a look at this signal. So as you can see right there, 84, 85, kind of in between 85, 86 for the most part. I think this is probably going to be a copper penny based on prior experience, so I'm going to cut a plug here and we will see what we're going to get. All right, guys, I just popped that plug open and I immediately saw the coin fall out. Didn't even have to use the pinpointer. It looks like this is going to be the first coin that we're going to be getting into the collection, probably with a date. And I think it's actually going to be a dime. It's not even a penny this time. It is looking a little bit rough though. You can see that that is the reverse rather of the dime right there. So let me just put that plug back. I will tend to that later. But let's see if we can just get the date off of this coin. This will be our first one that we can actually get a date off of. I don't really mind rubbing these though, just so you know, because they are clad. They're a little bit more modern. All right, so this one looks like it's gonna be a 1998 Denver, and I think that is gonna be the first one into the collection today. I don't remember if that fits into our range that I talked about earlier for the dimes, but it's definitely going into the collection. First one right there. Pretty modern dime, but I'm still happy to have it. So first coin in the ultimate coin hunt. Let's get on to the next hole and see what else we can find. All right, guys, so it looks like I'm having no problem finding coins out here today. Just cut this plug. I wasn't sure if it was gonna be a coin. I was thinking maybe a copper penny, but now that it's out of the plug, it's sounding like a textbook zinc penny. Let's check this out. So as you can see, 77, 78, and if you can remember, that's exactly what we were getting on our zinc pennies earlier. So let's go ahead and take the probe and try and locate this thing in the plug. It said that it was only about 2 inches or less deep, and right there, I'm already hearing it. So let's just try and pull it out, see if we can get it out of the plug. I think it's definitely gonna be a zinc penny, and it looks like it's gonna be right here. Oh, look at that. That's not a zinc penny at all. It's just a piece of metal. Well, like I said, you win some, you lose some. On to the next hole. All right, guys, a couple minutes later, and I think we have a copper penny signal here. Let's check it out. Where is it? There it is. So 84, 85. Just turn the sensitivity up a little bit. Get an 84 through 86. Once again, kind of like that dime we found earlier, I think this one's going to be either a copper penny or a dime. So I'm going to cut a plug right about there, and we will see what we're gonna find. All right, guys, looks like we've located the signal in the plug. You can see right there, it is round. It's about the size of a coin, but it's not a coin. Unfortunately, it looks like what we have here is just some little washer, and I think that's exactly what it is. It's just a little washer. I'm not sure if that's old. I don't think it is. May even be a hem weight, actually, now that I look at it a little more. It's not too heavy like a lead one would be, though. So unfortunately, that's not gonna be a coin, but I will put it in the pocket and we'll get on to the next hole. All right, guys, a few minutes later, and it looks like we're gonna get another chance at a copper penny. Let's take a look at this signal here. Oh, that is beautiful. 85, 86. I think when that comes out, it's gonna be an 84, 85, and we're gonna have a copper penny, the first one into the book. Let's take a look at this signal. Just popped the plug and located the signal. It looks like it's right at the bottom of the plug, right about there. And let's take a look and see what we're gonna get. All right, so it looks like we do finally have our first coin. It looks like it's, or our first Lincoln penny, I should say. It looks like it's going to be a copper penny for sure. We don't know if it's going to be a wheat penny or a Lincoln Memorial cent, and I think it looks like it's going to be a Memorial cent. I think this is the reverse right here. Yep, there's the Memorial side. So we'll flip this over. This should be between 1959 and 1982, and it looks like this one's going to be a 1975 Denver. So that is going to be going into our collection, not the one that we were looking at, because that was the 41 through 74. It'll be going into the very next collection. 1975 Denver penny in the pock. So now we are on the board with dimes and pennies. All we need to get is a quarter to complete the trifecta for today. Just got down on this signal here, which I was a little bit iffy about at first. It ended up being over here on the right side of the plug, and I've identified the target to be in this ball right here. Let's see if it's going to be a coin ball or a bottle cap ball, because that's what I'm thinking. This may be a bottle cap, but I'm hoping for a coin here. So let's see what it's going to be. Let me know if you guys can see it yet. Oh, you know what? I think it might be neither. What the heck do we have here? It looks like a piece of a key. And that actually reminds me of when I was out at the logging camp a little while ago. I found a key that was over 100 years old. Almost the exact same shape and the exact same proportion. This one's definitely a lot newer than that, but yeah, that would definitely sound like a coin. You can see why. Probably a good piece of copper, maybe brass, and it's kind of shaped like a coin as well. Oh well, on to the next one. Let's see what else we can find. All right guys, this signal was a little iffy, so I didn't film it in the beginning, but it looks like it is going to end up being a coin for us. Unfortunately, I think it's just gonna be a zinc penny, and once again, we may have some issues getting a date off of that coin. Wow, that almost looks like a toy penny, and you can see the zinc rod on that. This is Lincoln's head right there, so you can kind of see that it would flip like that, and that side is completely messed up. This side is it almost looks like you could get some details off of certain parts of it. I will definitely have to clean it up though, and hopefully we can get a date off of it and get it into our zinc penny collection. So we'll get on to the next one and see what else we can get. All right guys, I switched up locations a little bit. Just got down on a signal that was coming in at about a 86, 87. I was thinking this might end up being a quarter. Turns out the signal was a little bit lower, and it's gonna be another Lincoln penny. This one looks like it's in pretty good shape. 1969 plain, I think. Or is there a mint mark on that? It might be a 69 Denver. I can't tell for sure. But either way, that's the oldest coin we got so far. Another Lincoln penny into the collection, so I'm happy to see that, especially one that we can get a date off of. I think this is going to be a good area. I'm over by the, looks like there's some tennis courts over here and a basketball hoop as well, so this should be a good area for coins. All right guys, looks like I closed the case on this one a little bit too early. I closed the hole and then swung the detector back over it and was still getting an 85, 86. I guess that would explain why this came in so high, because there are multiple coins in this. As you can see, I'm already getting a signal right there, and I think it was right underneath the other one. You can see right there, we just unearthed another Lincoln penny, also copper, and I think we're gonna get a date off of this one as well. Is that also a 1969? Two 1969s. This one's definitely a Denver. I don't know if that other one was a Denver or not, but that may be our first duplicate coin right there. Unbelievable. Two 1969 pennies right on top of each other. Now I'm not gonna make the same mistake again. Let's recheck the hole here. Oh my gosh, guys, look at that. We have another one in there, at least one more. Oh, look at that. We have another Lincoln penny right there. Not gonna be a 1969 this time. I think it's going to be a 1970, and I'm not sure what the mint mark is on that one. Looks like it may be a Denver. I'm not exactly sure though. 1970, two 1969s. Let's check one more time to see if there's any more. All right, I think that is gonna be it, guys. Three pennies all right on top of each other, and that is gonna be it for that hole. Our first coin spill of the series comes as three pennies. Let's get on to the next one. All right, guys, this is pretty unbelievable. Check this out. This was the original hole where we had the three pennies come out, and I'm still getting signals up here, high tones at that. Check this out. So these aren't as consistent, but you do see that we do have more high tones in here. So I'm gonna cut another plug. It looks like just a little bit to the right of that original plug, and we'll see if we can get any more coins out of here. Man, am I ever glad I rechecked that hole. This was where we found our original three pennies, and then over here just to the right side, we didn't even have to dig a new plug. Take a look at that coin right there. That is our first wheat cent of the Ultimate Coin Hunt series. I wasn't sure if we were gonna find one today. I don't actually know how old this area is, but it looks like this one is going to be 1950 something, 53 it looks like. That is super duper cool, guys. 1953 Denver, first wheat scent of the series. It's going to be going into the wheat scent section, and I got to recheck the hole again because I think that we may have even more signals in here. So I'll get back to you guys on that one in just a second. So I rechecked the hole, and there was one more penny sounding signal. This is what it ended up being. I'm not really sure what this is, but it did sound like a penny, so I figured I'd dig it since it was next to all those other ones. But it looks like that's going to be the end of the coin spill. I couldn't find any more desirable signals in the area. So that's 4 pennies, one of them being a wheat penny, and that's our first wheat penny on the series. Very, very cool and awesome to have. So just a few feet away, here's the very next signal that we get. Check it out. So coming in at low 80s, this may end up being another zinc penny, but just in case, let's go ahead and dig it. And even if it is a zinc penny, there is a chance that we can get a date off of it, so let's take a look. So in case you guys don't remember, in the beginning I did say I am hunting at a school, and there's no way to make that more obvious than this right here. Check this out. This is one of those dials off of a locker. I know that at my high school I used these, even in my middle school, so I guess they're still using them these days, unless this was dropped a long time ago. I believe this school was built in the 60s or 70s, so could have been any time frame, but that's a pretty cool piece right there. I've never found one of those before, and it is circular, so it sounded like a pretty nice coin as well. All right, let's get on to the next hole and see what else we can find. Just got down on a fairly solid 86 signal. I figured I wouldn't use the camera because it seems to be a curse. Every time I turn the camera on, we get something bad, but this time I have something that I'm not even really prepared for as far as this series goes, because I already saw the edge of it and I know what it's going to be. It's going to be a Canadian penny. Look at that right there. It's going to sound just like an American penny for the most part. Not exactly sure how old it's going to be. Okay, now looking at that, I can tell you how old it's going to be. The obverse shows that this is going to be between 1965 and I believe 1990s, somewhere in there. So let's go ahead and take a look at the date and see what we have. All right, 1969, just like that Lincoln penny we found earlier. And guys, I'm thinking that as far as Canadian pennies goes, I do find quite a few of them metal detecting up here. So if you guys think I should start a Canadian penny collection, I think that would probably be a good idea to start as well, because I would probably fill it up even faster than some of the other American collections that I have available. So let me know down in the comments below what you guys think I should do with the Canadian coins. Got a 1969 Canadian penny right there within the first 10 coins of the series, so it looks like we're definitely going to be finding quite a few of them. All right guys, a few minutes later, I think I have a pretty good signal here. Take a listen. So 85, 86, definitely sounds like a copper penny, maybe a dime, maybe even a quarter. So let's go ahead and dig it and see what we're gonna get. All right guys, this is a good sign. Just got down here in the plug and it looks like it's right in the top, about 5 inches deep, right around there. And it looks like we already have something coin shaped here. Let's take a look. What is it gonna be? Did I miss it? Still there. All right, let's use the glove hand just in case there's something sharp here. We don't want to get cut. All right, there it is. Look at that. Looks like it's going to be a copper penny once again. Maybe a wheat. Oh, very, very close. Look at that. 1961. Just 3 years off from being a wheat penny. But still, that's a date that we need in the collection, so I will definitely take it. Another 1960s Lincoln penny out of here. Been digging all the copper ones that we can find, and some of the zinc ones as well. So that's another one into the collection, and that's actually in one of our target collections for today, so I'm happy about that. All right guys, very next hole. I wasn't too sure about the signal. It was kind of like in the high 90s, but it was bouncing around a lot. And I'm glad that I dug it though, because it looks like we have another Lincoln penny right on the surface, and I think there may even be more in here, considering the fact that we found some coin spills over here in the past, and the sound was a little bit high for just a single Lincoln penny. So let's take a look, see what we have for a date on this one. Looks like it's going to be 1972, and I think we have a mint mark on that as well. We will check back on that one when we get back to the car and put these into the collection. I think we got a couple more holes to go before we end this hunt, and we'll have the first one in the books. So let's get on to the next hole, see if we can get something else. Okay, next signal just a few feet away. Let's have a listen. So that definitely sounds like a copper penny to me. Let's go ahead and dig it and see what we get. All right guys, just popped the plug on this one and it sounds perfect for a copper penny. Let's have a listen here. So now coming in at a solid 84. It is in the plug somewhere. It looks like I may have miscalculated the depth on this one. This grass is a little bit tall, so it's adding a bit of depth to the detector here. But let's see if we can get this one out of the plug using the pinpointer. So we'll turn that on and listen for it here. Now I'm not getting, oh, had a quick little buzz right there. let's break into this plug just a little bit more and see if we can try and get into that and get some more buzzing here. Yep. So now I'm getting a little bit more. I think we're almost on the coin. Let's just break into this a little bit more, kind of dig around a bit here. All right, now we're talking. I think we're right on the coin, and I'm pretty confident that it is a coin. Yep, look at that. There's the edge of a coin. I think it's gonna be, looks like it's gonna be another Lincoln penny. So hopefully this is one that we don't need. Not gonna be a wheat penny. It does have the memorial on the reverse there. So let's flip it over real quick, give it a quick wipe, and see if we can get a date off of that one. Ooh, this one may actually be in the 80s. I think it's gonna be an 82. You guys see the date on that one? I think that's gonna be a 1982. Maybe it's 1980. I can't see too well, but I think that one is gonna be a 1980, which is a coin that we don't have yet, so gonna be happy with that one. Just pulled out another penny that was basically right on the surface. As you can see, it still has quite a bit of its color left on it. 1979 is the date on that one. That's still in the copper range, and that's gonna be going into the collection as well. All right, guys, I think this is gonna be the last signal for the day, and we're really taking a chance on this one. I'm hoping we can get a nickel here, but I'm really not sure. Let's take a look. So we're seeing somewhere between 40 and 60. We're looking for a 47, 48, somewhere in that 50-ish range for a nickel, but I'm really not sure. So I'm gonna cut a plug here and see what we're gonna find. Well, it looks like the big chance paid off with a piece of scrap metal. Better luck next time, I guess. All right, guys, here's the real last signal. I was just on my way to the truck, and this is a signal I couldn't pass up. I think we may have a quarter here. Have a listen. So 88, 89, 90. That's a pretty textbook quarter, guys. Let's take a look. All right, so the target did end up being pretty high up in the plug, as you can see here. Zeroing in on it now, and we're gonna see what it's gonna be. Let's take a look here. All right, where is it? Oh, looks like it fell out right there. Look at that. We got a nice big rim, and it looks like it is gonna be a quarter. So we did get a quarter today, but is it gonna go into our target collection? Looks like it's not gonna be a state quarter. As you can see, we have the eagle there on that side. I am seeing a 1980 something. So we'll have to get that one cleaned up when we get back to the truck. I'm thinking 83 on that one. I'm not sure if that puts us in our target collection, but I don't care. We got a quarter today, and that's all that counts, and that's gonna be going into the collection. All right, let's get back to the truck and tally everything up. All right, so we are back in the studio now after a successful first hunt for the Ultimate Coin Hunt series. Now I have all of the coins that we found during the hunt laid out here on this piece of paper, and I got them cleaned up almost to the point where every single one of them has a date. Now the question is, how many unique dates did we find on this first hunt, and did we hit all 3 of our target albums for this hunt? Let's go ahead and find out. So here across the top, we have all of the different target coins that we could have possibly found in today's hunt. Obviously, we didn't get any Eisenhower dollars, half dollars, small dollar coins, or nickels, but we did get everything else. So we're gonna start off with the 1941 through 1974 Lincoln cent collection. Did we hit that? The answer is absolutely. Almost every single coin that we got out of today's hunt is actually going to be going into that collection, especially the oldest coin out of today's hunt, which was this 1953 Denver wheat penny, which was really cool to find. I wasn't sure if we were going to find a wheat, but we were able to get one. So there you can see the 1953 Denver sitting securely in the collection, and we didn't get anything else to fill out this second page, but boy did we ever get some coins for this third page. As you can see, that third page spans from 1962 up through 1974, and we have quite a few coins over here that fall into that range. First off, we have this 1964 Denver. Next up, a 1969 Denver, and we actually got 2 of those. If you remember, that was the coin spill that we had, where we had 3 or 4 different coins in that hole. Now right here we have a 1970, and I think that that's a Denver. I'm going to go with that being a Denver. The mint mark on that one does look a little bit weird though, but I'm going to say 1970 Denver on that one. And then last but not least, for that third page, we got a 1972 Denver as well. So here's a look at that third page filled in, giving us a total of 5 coins going into the 1941 through 74 Lincoln penny collection. Our next target collection for today's episode was the Roosevelt dimes from 1965 through 1999. So we'll open this one up, and you will see in a second here we did get 1 coin that is going to be going into this collection. So we will be pulling this out right here and moving it to the side and taking a look over here at the 1 dime, the single dime that we were able to find today. And you'll see that the date on that one is 1998 Denver. So it just barely made it in at the very end of this collection. You'll see right here, this collection ends in 1999. And there is the 1998 Denver at 1.17 million minted. I'll push that one in just a second, and you can see that we got a single dime in that collection, the only dime in today's hunt. So right now we are 2 for 2 on getting coins into the target collections, but are we going to be 3 for 3? Our third and final target collection is the Washington quarters from 1988 through 1998, and unfortunately we did not get a coin into this collection. We got very close though. You can see right here our one quarter that we got on the day was a 1983 Denver, so just 5 years off of getting into that collection. This one's instead going to be going into the 1965 through 1987 Washington quarters collection. All right, so this one's a little bit older, which in theory is usually better. So let's go ahead and open this one up and see what it looks like. You can see that the coins are much more spaced out than you saw with the pennies and the dimes. Let's just go ahead and remove that little piece right there. And we're looking for 1983 Denver, which is going to be on this third page right here, coming in at 617 million minted. And the 1983 Denver quarter right there is going to be going in that spot right there. Now the remainder of the identifiable coins that we found today are going to be going into the 1975 through 2013 Lincoln Cent collection, and we have quite a few of them actually to fill in here, so let's take a look at those now. So starting up here, we were actually able to grab the first year in that collection, 1975 Denver right there. Up next we have the 1979, and this one actually came out looking really nice. I think this was a very recent drop. I believe I found this one just barely on the top of the ground. And then we also got a 1980. Now on to those zinc cents, guys. If you saw earlier, you saw me pull these out of the ground and you saw that I was kind of iffy on some of these dates. You can see these are pretty beat up, but I did scrub them pretty well, and you are able to see some of the details on this coin coming through. This one I'm actually able to identify as a 1999 Philadelphia. However, the other one, I think I can almost make out a date on it. I think it may be 1990, but I can't say for sure. I think that there's definitely a Denver mint mark on that as well, but I can't say for sure, so I'm not going to be putting this one into the collection. You can see that these coins are just get completely screwed up when they're sitting in the ground due to their composition being zinc rather than copper. All right, so here's a look at the 75 through 2013 collection once it's been filled out. You can see our lonely zinc penny over here, and I can tell you guys right now, these two sections right here are just going to look super gnarly because they're going to have these weird zinc rotted coins, unless I'm able to find something on the surface of the ground that hasn't been rotted too much. I think this is going to be kind of difficult to identify some of these dates in the future. But overall, not too shabby for our first hunt. We got 4 new coins into the collection. I will definitely take it. So guys, last but not least, I was able to get a single Canadian penny out of today's hunt. I haven't figured out what to do with this yet. I think that I'm probably going to end up going ahead and getting some Canadian penny collections because, like I said, I do find quite a few of these, and I think it would be interesting to fill out a collection like that as well. So here's a look at all of the collections that we were able to fill out in today's hunt, and if you've metal detected for a long time, that probably doesn't come as a huge surprise. A lot of pennies come out, some dimes and quarters as well. Not as many nickels though. As you guys can see, there's a load of collections that we didn't even touch in today's first hunt, and I'm definitely hoping to touch some of these in the next one, especially some of those nickel collections which I talked about a little bit earlier. They're a little harder to find because they sound like trash and you have to dig a lot of trash just to find one or two. But something that I'd really love to get into is some more of these Washington quarter collections, and then maybe even some of these Kennedy $50 collections if we were lucky enough to find a $50. So if you haven't figured it out already, this is definitely going to be a long running series, much longer than my Coin Quest series or my Search for Silver series or anything really that I've done in the past. This is going to take a long time because we have a ton of collections to fill, and the filling can go kind of slow sometimes. Obviously we have a lot more digging to do before we can even begin to think about filling up just one of these collections, but still, it's a huge goal. Like I said, it's very ambitious, but it's going to be a ton of fun. So I hope you guys will stick around. I really enjoyed today's episode, and I have a lot more different locations planned for the future episodes. If you guys have any ideas for what I should make a target collection in the next episode, definitely leave your comment down below and upvote the ones that you like so that I can see them. I'll try and pick some of the top voted ones for the next episode, as long as they're within reason, like not going out looking for Eisenhower dollars every single episode. But anyways guys, that is going to pretty much do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to go down below and leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, because we post new videos like this every single week. New video of the ultimate coin hunt coming out next week as well. And as always, I'm Quinn, and this is Quin's Coins signing out, and I will see you in the next one.